Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this video from. And my name is Kenneth Ubeban. It's my pleasure to just share some thoughts with you in this conversation. And it's not a strange thought, it's not something you have not heard before, but I'm sure it's something that will help you. And I'm not sharing the thought because it's been on my mind lately, maybe more like my word for the week, more like a phrase I've heard for a while, but it just seemed to resonate with me at this point in time in my life. And the phrase is just one word: reset. Reset. What does it mean to reset? What does it mean to reset? Simply, reset means to start all over again. Somebody calls it something like default setting. Actually gets better than default setting. I sometimes believe that reset is not just about going back to default. Sometimes it's going to version 2.1, 2.0. Like I like to call it 2.0, which really is the next version of you. Maybe for you it's version 5.1, maybe for you it's version 7.1 or version 1.5. But it's not just resetting, going back to default how it used to be. It's resetting, going to the next version of yourself. And why do we need reset? That's the first question I want to address. In life, you're going to find things that are going to throw you off track. Of course, some things are going to knock the wind out of you. You're going to, for example, have a bad day. What do you do when you have a bad day? You need to tell yourself, it's just one day. Yes, you had a bad day, but it's just one day. One bad day doesn't have to be your whole life story. You can't carry the baggage of one bad day for the rest of your life. You know what you do when you wake up the next morning? You reset. Just the way you see the sun rising, tell yourself it's a new day, it's a new you, it's an opportunity for you to try again with hope, with faith, with joy, with strength. You can't let the baggage of one bad day or even two bad days spoil today. So if you've had a bad day yesterday, hey, sleep. Then you reset. Somebody says sometimes the difference between a bad day and a good day is a good night rest. You could do it. A good night rest and reset for a new day. What of when you make a wrong choice? A lot of people are afraid to make choices because they do not want to make a wrong choice. But I'm sorry, somebody said the only way to make better choices is to make a choice. So you're going to make some wrong choices. So what do you do when you make a bad choice? You make a wrong turn, you reset. Imagine you are driving on the road. This has happened to me many times. I know it has happened to you. Even if you use Google Map, you get to a point where you make a wrong turn. What do? Do you keep driving? No. Somebody said, no matter how fast you drive the wrong direction, you will never get to your destination. So if you make a wrong turn, what do? You reset. And I like the way Google Map will reroute you. That's a reset. You turn around and then you make another turn. You make a new turn. So whether you had a bad day, or you made a wrong turn on the road, or you made a wrong business decision. Of course, you may have lost a client, you may have lost money, you may have lost credibility. Whatever it is, one wrong business decision doesn't have to define your life. Now, when you see some of our millionaires, some of our big business people, if they tell you their story, you realize that, like somebody said, you just have to get it right once. Now that you made one bad business decision doesn't mean that you are a bad business person. No, it just means that you paid some money in what is called the University of Hard Knock. That's life. So you hope you have learned something from that bad decision. If not, you likely make another bad decision, but you cannot stop yourself from making another business decision because you made one bad decision. So you reset. And that's like failure. If you understand life, you're going to fail at very many things. I don't know. But when you are doing something new or doing something for the first time, you're going to fail. What do you do when you fail? You reset. What if you succeed? You reset. And I like the analogy I want to paint to you is football. After a football match, even if the team won 3-0, 5-0, or they lost, you see very often the coach reflects on the match that just ended briefly, and immediately he's talking about their next match. So whether you fail or you succeed, you must reset and plan for the next. You can't dwell on the past forever. Now, finally, I want to share this before I talk about how to reset. your life. When you are working, you just had a notification on my computer. That happens to us a lot of the time. You hear a notification or a colleague stops by your table to ask you a question. There are one or two things that will distract you in the course of your day. How much work you get done in the course of your day has a lot to do with how fast you reset. Imagine I check that notification and then in 30 minutes I am lost in one social media. How fast I reset and bring myself back to work mode so that I can get into deep work. They say it takes about 20 minutes to get in the flow state. It means that if you get distracted often, you're not going to be able to deliver deep work in flow state. So how often you reset? Oh, you get a notification and you check your WhatsApp messages. If you can reset quickly in 5 minutes, it means that you get back to your work. But if you take too long, 20 minutes, 30 minutes or more to reset because you get distracted by one notification or by one social media, you will get very little done in the course of your day. So to live a good life, and this is the last one I need to mention, is what if somebody offends you? That happens a lot around. What if somebody offends you? What are you going to do if somebody offends you? Somebody upsets you. Hey, the faster you reset, the better. They may not even know they upset you, they may not apologize. If they do, fine. Whether they do or they don't, the faster you reset, the better. Now I'm going to just share 5 ways to reset for you, not in a particular order, but I think it will help you to reset. Maybe you're at a point where maybe you had a bad day, or you have a broken relationship, or somebody upset you, or you are in a point where you are not really sure what to do. I'm sure these 5 points will help you to reset. Number 1, put things in perspective. One bad day doesn't mean you have a bad life. One breakup doesn't mean that you are not meant for relationship. One business mistake doesn't mean that you are a bad businessman. No. You must put things in perspective. One bad day is one bad day. Now, if you look in the course of the year, there are over 360 more days in the year. So if it's one bad day, let it go and make today count. Don't mess up today's joy with yesterday's mistake or tomorrow's worry. Make today count so that your bad day, one bad day, is not the story of your life. Put things in perspective. When you lose money in business, understand that even some of the biggest businessmen today still make business mistakes. Yes, they still invest in things that don't turn out. The best of venture capitalists make a lot of investment that amounts to nothing. It's only the few that make money that we hear, but they invest in all kinds of businesses that you may not even invest in, because you will think, what kind of business idea is this? But venture capitalists invest in some of those things and they don't work out. They don't call themselves bad business people. They actually call themselves venture capitalists and consultants. So put things in perspective. One bad day doesn't mean a bad life. One bad business decision doesn't mean you are bad at making business decisions. One failed relationship doesn't mean you are a failure in relationship. Number 2, if you can, avoid the source of irritation. Okay, I'll give you that example of the beep on my laptop. It just did not occur to me. My phone is on Do Not Disturb, so you're not going to hear any notification. I could actually have shut down that notification. So if you're in an environment that is distracting, that is not good for your health and your energy and your motivation, your discipline, stay away from the source of the irritation. Now, for you to be able to reset, you must stay away from the source of irritation. Now, one of the examples I can use for resetting is your computer. Imagine you have a virus that doesn't allow your computer to work, or you just installed a new software. In computer parlance, sometimes they do system restore. You restore the system back to a point it was working, or you delete the malfunctioning software or virus or whatever. So stay away from the source of irritation. If you have the software in the computer and you still want to reset, hey, there's a problem. So that's number 2. Number 3, realign yourself with your core values. Realign. Maybe ask yourself, why did I start all of this in the first place? What am I getting wrong? Why am I in the wrong direction? Realign yourself with your core values. The truth is, what you should be, who you should be, what you should be doing. It's in you. It's not outside. No, you don't need external validation. Yeah, if somebody confirms, fantastic, but it's in you. So look deep within and realign yourself with your core values. When you are low on energy, low on motivation, not sure what to do, hey, just go back. Maybe go back to 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or go back to a point in time where you were good. Let me call it, you were in a good space, and ask yourself, what really did I want to become? What really did I want to do? What really should I be doing? It helps yourself to realign with your core values. And once you realign, number 4, do the things that make you come alive. For some people, I say to them, say, take a piece of paper, draw a list, look at the things you do every day. What are things that make you come alive? What are things that don't make you come alive? I need you to notice that I'm not using the word things that make you happy, because so many people pursue happiness and they miss out on living. The purpose of life is not happiness. Happiness is a byproduct of doing the things that make you come alive. When you are alive, you are happy. When you are doing the things that make you come alive, the things that draw your strength, your energy, your purpose, your passion, hey, you are happy. Happiness is a byproduct of that. But if you pursue happiness, maybe you think it's an ice cream or a new relationship or something that you can actually miss living. So find out what are the things that make you come alive. That's number 4. Do them. And then finally, learn to forgive yourself. This might seem simple. Listen, I'm not telling you to forgive other people. No. I'm saying learn to forgive yourself. One of the things I've realized about life is sometimes we are more merciful to others than ourselves. People make mistakes or they hurt us, and sometimes we can forgive them. But when we make mistakes, sometimes we take too long to forgive ourselves. And you know what that does? It puts us in an environment that is toxic and that hinders us in going forward. One of the ways to reset is to learn to forgive yourself. Bring yourself out of a place where you set yourself up as a target and you start shooting at yourself. No. Forgive yourself. Whether you made a mistake, forgive yourself. Whether you had a bad day yesterday, forgive yourself. Whether you lost $1 million, $1 million today, learn to forgive yourself. Show yourself some mercy. Cut yourself some slack. This is your first time through life. Oh, you may have been here for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, but hey, you are still learning on the job. It's an on-the-job training. It's an ongoing process. Learn to forgive yourself. Learn to forgive yourself. When you do, it helps you to reset. It helps you to restart. And forgiving yourself means something like, if you have said, okay, I'm going to go out every day for a 15 minutes walk. If you miss it today, don't beat up yourself. Forgive yourself, tomorrow go out. If you say, oh, I'm going to spend only 10 minutes on social media, you find yourself spending 2 hours. Forgive yourself so that you can reset and restart. If you say, oh, I'm going to read 20 pages every day before I go to bed, but you end up spending your last 20 minutes on social media before going to bed, forgive yourself, because it helps you to reset and read all of these conversations, so that wherever you are on the journey of life, learning to reset when you make a mistake. Because the faster you reset, the faster you stop and turn yourself in the right direction, the faster you forgive yourself and go again, the faster you will move in the direction where you need to be. So learn to put things in perspective. Learn to forgive yourself. Yes, learn to let go of environments, walk away from environments that hold you captive, that want to keep you in the past, of course, and learn to reset again and again and again, so that when you make mistakes, hey, you stop and then you move on. Let me Kenneth Ebebo until I come your way once again to reset, because the faster you reset, the further you will go in life. Thank you very much for listening.